I'm Becca and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make this fantastic twisted tower advent calendar. You can either make it twisted or you can just stack it straight, that's totally up to you. I've done it twisted. I just wanted something that was a little bit more exciting for my son, who this is going to be for him to look for the numbers, so he's going to have different angles to look at, so it's a bit more of a challenge for him to find his chocolate on each day. So it's exactly the same cube shape that I've put together in the Christmas tree calendar, which I'll link that tutorial below. So I'll insert now the video that I did on the last one explaining how to put the cubes together. If you've already watched that one, you can skip forward and then just come to the part where I'm showing you how to put this together. So it's really fun to make. It does take a while to do it because there's a lot of scoring in it for your boxes and cubes, but it's definitely worth the effort. I'm doing these at the beginning of November just so that you've got time for them, you to get them made ready for December. So let's get on and I'll show you how. Okay, so to make each of the calendars that I'm going to be showing you how to make this year, they're all using the same size cube or box, whatever you want to call them. So I'm recording this bit and you'll see it in the following videos, but I'm going to show you different ways on how you can put these together just by using the same shape and size box. So I'm going to show you this one time and then this bit will be repeated at the beginning of the other videos, but that's just in case anybody's not seen this bit first time round. Okay, so to make each box we need a piece of card that is 6 inches squared, and then we need one that is 5 3/4 squared. Okay, and the small ones are going to be the drawer for the inside, and then this is going to be the outer casing. Now if you've got a coated card, which I have, but if it's just coated on one side, the side that you want to see on the outside needs to be face up when you're scoring. Reason being is because when you press down into the groove with your scoring tool, you're making the fibres sort of go in on themselves, and then when you fold it the way you want it to go, you're stretching them. Whereas if you don't do this and you fold them the opposite way around, your fibres can tear. Now whenever you're using a card that's got a coating on it or anything like that, just be careful you don't press too hard with your scoring tool. Okay, so for on the 6-inch one, we're just going to score at 2 and 4 inches on both sides, which is, you can see I've already done. And then on the 5 3/4 we're going on 1 7/8 and 3 7/8. So again you turn it and then it's 1 7/8 and 3 7/8. Okay, so that's your scoring done. So you need to do that 25 times on each one, so 50 pieces altogether. It will be a cardstock cluster, this one. I've got 4 of these to do this year, so I may have to go shopping in the new year for card if I've managed to get through it all anyway. So once you've got your 2 pieces, you just want to flip them over. So as you can see, this side's got the raised bit in it, and then you're folding it back on itself. And then you just take your bone folder or scoring tool, depending on what you're using, and just burnish that crease. Turn it and do it the opposite way. So the side that you actually scored is going to be on the inside. So if it does bubble up a little bit, which I'll show you in a second, you're not going to see it because it's going to be on the inside. So you can sort of just see it. And on the outside you've got that professional looking straight edge. So that's the reason that we do it that way as well. So I'll do that again on this. So they're really simple to do these. It's just a case of getting 25 of them done all together. You don't have to do 25, I'm just doing it so there's an extra, so it adds up for the shapes that I'm doing. But on Christmas Day I'm sure whoever's going to be opening these ones will have plenty of other things to open as well anyway, but I'm putting it there anyway because I'm a bit of a Christmas nut. Right, so I've not got my little scissors, but oh there we go. I can show you with this one. So I'll zoom in a little bit so I can just show you this. Right, so what I'm going to do is, because I'm right-handed, let's put a little light on, that might be a bit better. I'll bring that over. Sorry about that, I'd not realised I'd not moved my lighting. So as you can see here, you've got that ridge. So if you right-handed, this is the way that I'm doing it anyway. I cut to the left-hand side of this score line, just up here to where they meet. Okay, so this point here, and then I fold that out of the way so I know that's not going to get cut with anything, and then we're going to take a wedge off from this side. If you don't quite get in the corner, just snip it there. Okay, and then you want to do the same on the other side, and then you just want to snip a bit off there. Now this becomes our gluing flap. Okay, and then I turn it, and then I'm going to do this one again. So I'll just come a bit further out now that you can see better. Okay, so I'm just going to do this on all 4 sides. And try to get the cuts as straight as you can, because that's what's going to be seen on the outside. So you've got all 4 that's like this, and then you want to do exactly the same on your other piece. So I'll speed this part up so you can still see what I'm doing, but it'll just be a little bit quicker. So we've got our 2 pieces made, so we'll start with making the outer one. Yeah, it's definitely the outer one. And the way that I like to do it is, have it in front of me like this, and then I know I'm going to glue this side. Okay, so we know that's the inside because it's got the more sort of bubbly part of the card where we've scored. And then I'm going to be using Clal all-purpose glue, because I'm doing a construction piece. This will make each of the drawers more firm and strong for when they're going to be pulled out. And then once I've glued that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the points and meet them up so it makes a right angle. Okay, so you've got that 90-degree angle, and then I've just matched it up right to the edge. Just make sure that you get it all made up here, no bits sticking out, and then you just want to press down on your gluing flap just to make sure it's stuck. Then I like to lay it flat down again and fold the glue flap back. Okay, and then do the same. Ooh, glue rolling away with this one. Right, now you've got these 2 that are left here. Now because this is going to finish up the cube, we need to glue these 2 pieces at the same time. So if you have your cube in front of you, or drawer, whatever you want to call it, I like to fold this flat back here. And turn it on its side, and you're not going to be able to see this, or else I'll have to try and lift this up. So I'm just gluing I've laid the flap down like I would have done if it was just one of the other 3 pieces, but you just can't see it because of the piece I've already stuck. Whoop. Okay, so you've got your 2 glue flaps there, so you're going to push them up together and then just meet up the corners and press down on the flaps. Okay, so there you've got your the main drawer piece, and then the other one I'm gonna let you see what I do, but I'm gonna speed it up, and then I'll come back to you to show you what to do next. So that's put together. So what I'm going to do now is, while they're still relatively wet, they're not fully dry, I like to take the drawer piece and the main piece and I put them inside each other, and then it's got a bit of wiggle room for you to be able to get it in, and it'll be in the exact position that you need it. So I'm just going to pop drawer in that way, so you've got one, so the hole's facing to your right if you're doing the same way as me, and then just take your drawer cube and slot it in that way, and you've got a perfect little drawer. Now the next part is to put some way of opening them up. Now there's different ways that you can do this. First of all, decide whether if you want to put any pattern paper onto the front of it. So I've just got a spare one here that I've done for demo purposes, that's all. And then, so this piece is 4.5 centimetres by 4.5, I think that's the right one that I've... yeah. That one, so that's 4.5 centimetres squared. So, and then you just want to put your paper on. And just line it up so it's got a little border all the way around. This is just a test one, but just get it into the centre as best you can. That's a good thing about the wet glue, like I say, you've got that wiggle room to get it exactly where you want it to go. Whereas if you use a tape pen or double-sided, once it's down you're committed, you can't take it off. Okay, so I've got this. Zoom in a little bit more. And then I've just got this little circular punch. I'm going to show you a way that you can do it without needing a punch, but I think it's probably about 3/4 of an inch circle. I think that's what it is anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm just taking the side that's got the pattern paper on, and I'm going to take my punch so it's upside down and slide it in, and then you can see where the cardboard comes into it, and you're wanting to do about just over half, 2/3 of the way up in the circle, as you can see, and then oh, and it pops out, so you've got a little finger hole. Now if you haven't got the circle punch, let's just put this on my glue, I don't want it to dry up. You can just take a pair of scissors and you can cut a V. So if you want to measure doing this, you can do, but I'm just doing it by eye because this is just a spare one that I'm doing. If I was doing it for all of them, then I would measure them and make sure that I've got it at the right, but because I've got the circle punch, I'm making my life a little easier. So you've got a little V that you could put your finger in there. The other thing is you can always put a little hole in the side, and if you've got some brads, and just use your scissors, and be careful not to hurt yourself if you are doing it this way, but if you've got a pokey tool, you just need to make a hole with something, and then you can put a brad in if you have any brads, or split pins. That's the other one that you can what they're called when they're down the normal stationery section, and then you just put one through there and fold the wings of the pin either side, and then you've got like a little draw knob on the front that you can pull down. Right, so now you've seen me how I make the boxes and put them together, so it's the same bit from the last video to this one. I'm just going to show you a different configuration of how to put them together. Now I've already started putting some of the layers together. Now I'm putting them in sets of 4. Now the only way I can show you is this way. So this is going to be my bottom layer, so that way around. And my first layer is having the number on the left, the next one the right, the left, and I'm going to go on so forth. And then on the one side that's not got a number, I'm going to put a piece of pattern paper, which is 1 3/4 inch squared. Okay, so I've got that in front of me. So I've already got my next 2 layers already done. So on that side I need the number to be on the right hand one and the next one to be on the left. So I'm going to put them in place, and if you keep them stacked in front of you, it will remind you on which way they need to go. So mine, I've got 2 different colour blues, so I'm doing 2 rows in a dark blue, and then the 3rd row is going to be in a light blue. So altogether there's going to be 6 sets of 4, and then the 25th one is going to be on the top. Okay, so I've just got my squares here, and I need the number on the right hand side. So what I'm going to do is, so imagine taking you've got two, and turn the one that's on the left over this way. And then if you're doing it the opposite way around, you just turn the right one over, and then you just want to glue the back of the one that you've just turned. Let's do it this way. And then turn. So then what you'll see is you've got your blank side that you're wanting. So take your next number and then you're going to stick it to this side, okay? And then line it up. And then if you turn it, this last one's going to need glue on two sides. So it's going to slot in there and it's going to go there. So you want to put glue on these two sides here. Okay, make sure you got it the right way up and push it together. Any glue that comes out, you can rub it away. Okay, so now while they're dry and stuck together, I'm going to turn it on inside. As you can see, I've got a bit of glitter glue from another project, but don't worry about that, it's getting covered over with the bit of paper. So I've got 4 pieces of 1 3/4 squared pattern paper, and this is some lovely foiled paper. So all I'm going to do now is put a square of this on the 4 sections that are blank. Okay, so I've got all my pattern paper stuck on there. Just put the pin in. Right, so my next 2 layers is going the opposite to what the, sorry, next 3 layers, not 2. My bottom layer has gone with the number on the left to start with. Okay, so I've got that stood up in front of me. So as I've got it in front of me, I've got the, it goes on the left, the right, the left. So my next row has got to be on the right. So that's what I've got here. So I've got a number on the right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to stack them, but twist them at the same time. You could stack them straight if you wanted to, but I just wanted to put a little bit of something extra into it. So we're going to just turn this one. So as you can see, there's not much that you can see apart from on the top. So we're just going to angle it so it's got a little portion on each corner sticking out from the previous layer. So just turn over your layer. You don't want to stick it all the way out because it's not going to get stuck to anything, so it's mainly this centre piece. Turn it back over. So if you keep this one straightened up, and then you just want to move it around until you've got it just how you want. So I think that's just about there, and then just press down and let it settle into place. And then we're going to take our next layer, so the number is on the right hand side. Okay, so and then this one is going to line up with this bottom one. So you'll see the 4 points on this way. Okay. And then that should be alright. Now I'll have to zoom out just a little bit more so that you can see what I'm doing on this next piece. So I'm taking the first set of drawers that I've put together, and we're going to stack them on top. You're not going to be able to see very well until I lean it over. So what I need to do now is, oh, they're still a little bit wet, so rather than gluing the bottom of that one, I'm going to glue this one, and I can stack them a little bit easier. If I wasn't filming, I'd let both stacks completely dry and then stick them together, but because I'm filming, I'm doing it this way. So I'm just going to stagger them again, because it's got quite close to the camera now. You're not going to see very well until I move it to its side. Okay. Ooh. So that's it, I'm holding it really tightly. So as you can see, it twists as it's going round. And then right on the top we've got our number 25, and this is the one that I've done in mirror board, just so you, the person knows that that's the extra special one, because that's for Christmas morning. So I'm just going to put some glue on the bottom one here. And then I'm just going to angle it so it's the opposite direction to stack. And then hopefully I'll be able to turn it so I can show you. There we go. I can just hold it in place. Oop. So it's moving. So I'm going to let that dry for a couple of minutes, and then I'll come back because I don't want to spoil it and all go wrong. So okay, I'm back, and it's a little more dry, so I can tip it on its side for you to see. So as you can see, it's just a twisted tower. So from whatever angle you look at it, it's got an interesting aspect. So it's totally up to you whether if you want to do it the twisted way, like I have. So you can just about see it from the top there, the line up, or you can just do it straight or twist it. Totally up to you. Now the top one, you could even put the drawer so it's facing up if you wanted to, for them to pull it out. Now I'm not doing it that way, I'm just keeping it like this. So this is just another variation on the advent calendar that I've shown you before, the Christmas tree. So I've got another 2, possibly 3 versions of making this calendar, so keep a lookout for those. If you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, that'd be appreciated. And if you've not subscribed, if you consider subscribing, that would be appreciated too. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.